Mortgage affordability dropping off a cliff. This has got to be a sign of a real estate bubble about to be popped, right? Woo! Sorry about the tank top. I was actually getting ready to go for a walk, and I read this blog post. I said, I got to do a video. All right, so let's check this out. 1 second. All right, so this is from politicalcalculations.blogspot.com. I refer to political calculations quite a bit, as a matter of fact. I didn't realize I had a running blog, actually, so it's fantastic. Love these guys. You should subscribe, and I don't know, I'm not sure if you can subscribe, but you should follow them. Anyway, so I came across this. I got a good chuck out of that because this looks ominous, doesn't it? Mortgage payment for a median new home, as a percent of median household income. All right. Here we are right now. 38.4% is the mortgage payment for a median new home. Now, new is newly constructed, not, like this is not a newly constructed home. So when I sell this home, it's not newly constructed. But be that as it may, it was 41.3% in January 2006, and now it's 38.4% now. And it's rising rapidly. Thus, that's got to be indicative of a real estate popping, right? Because look, 41.3%. 38.4 hasn't been anywhere near this since the bubble of 2006 and 7 and then 2008. Yikes. All right, so if we take 41.3% and then we go to the Fed and we look at 2006, what the median household income was. And again, median just means 50% of the households have more, 50% of the households have less, all right? It's 48,201 back there. So we take our trusty whiteboard here. What did I do? Oh, there it is. So we take 41.3% and we times that by 48,000 for simplicity. 48,000 times 41% gives us, so that's what we're looking at here. 48,000 times 41%. So we say $48,000 times 41%. That means it's $19,680 was what it cost for the median right here. The mortgage payment for a median new home was $19,680 back in 2006, and then it just collapsed. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing here. $19,680. That's what it was. So 41% of the median house means the median new home price was for a payment was basically $20,000 a year, which is 41% of your entire income for the median household. So if we divide that 19,680 divided by 12, we'll get a monthly payment of $1,640. All right, so that's a $1,640 monthly payment. Now, I don't know if that mortgage payment includes PITI or not. I don't know, but we're just going to go with it because we're going to do a comparison. $1,640 the monthly payment. All right, so now we're going to say, so let's say you bought a house back then, and you're still sitting on that house. You're like $1,640. It's our monthly payment. And you say, okay, what's the median income now? $67,520. So for you now, at $1,640 is your monthly payment, again, times 12, $19,680. And we're going to say you made the median income over the last 13, 15 years or so. Now it's $67,521. $67,521. So what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, so let's say you had the worst luck in history, the worst luck. You're Louis the Loser, as American Fun says. And you bought that house, $1,640 a month, was 41% of your income back in 2006. And you said, man, I bought the top of the bubble. But you haven't refinanced, you haven't done anything. You're still paying $1,640 a month or $19,680 a year. And your wages have gone up by the median amount. So now we take the $1960 divided by $67,521. And our mortgage payment is now 29% of median income. 29%. So what happened was our income went up. And this is why I have a huge issue with the entirety of the CPI. Our cost stayed flat while our income went up. So what used to be 41% is now 29%. So what used to be 41% of our income went to service our debt is now only 29% because our income went up. Our costs stay flat. because we had a fixed rate mortgage. This doesn't include refinancing or anything. So now we're sitting there thinking, that's pretty interesting. Even more interesting if we look at the median income, are you actually you're 15 years in your career now. 15 years further in your career from 2006 to 2022. Probably you're getting higher wage increases than you did when you first started out because you have more skill set, you have more sales experience, you have more, you're more valuable to your employers. So even if your income just rose at the median, the amount of income to service your debt, even with no refinances, has dropped from 41 to 29. But most likely, because as you age, you get older and more, again, you're more needed at your company, your income probably went higher than just the median. On top of that, if we look at 26%, we're at 29 right there. So basically, your debt service is the lowest it's been since 2003. You haven't had this low of debt service at all, except for right around the COVID stuff. Isn't that interesting? Weird how you won't see that in the media, because everyone wants to scare you to death. Oh, by the way, let's just take a look at new homes. The new housing starts, and here you can see we peaked out at 2006. Dropped off a cliff, and we're still right here, 1549 and versus 2100 back then. We're still way below. We're probably at historic averages now, but you can see it's climbed from at the bottom. We haven't built enough homes, is what's happening here, and our population is growing substantially. I just want to point this out. So here we are, housing starts the same amount right there, 1549, which is what we had in 2006, from 97 all the way up to 2006. So it was 10 years. It's all above where we are now. We had from 1983 to basically 1987. So this isn't historically high in the least. Coming off the bottom, we've never been any this low. Isn't that crazy? What is the housing start exactly? The start occurs when excavation begins for the footings or foundation of a building. All housing units in a multifamily building are defined as being started even when this excavation begins. So when excavation begins. Estimates of housing starts as of 1992 include structures being totally rebuilt on existing foundations. All right, let's take a look too. I'm just curious. Let's look at the population. All right, so here we got U.S. population in 2006. We had 298 million people in the good old US of A. And now we got 330 or so right there. If I can get the thing to work. Yeah, man, right there. 330. So we've grown by 30 million people. Housing starts are still where I just showed you. But from here, 2006 to here, we've actually grown by 30 million people in the U.S. On top of that, the millennials, which are a huge generation, bigger than mine, are coming more and more into the home buying realm. So not only have we lower housing starts relative to the population increase, but the number of people who are in their first homes are growing rapidly relative to my generation. Here's the active listings back in, this is just 5 years ago, is 1.6 million. Now we're back up to 620,000. Where we had 381 at the beginning of March of 2022. We've gone up about 65% or so, but we're nowhere near. Look at that, active listings. What are active listings? Let's see. The count of active single-family and condo townhomes listed for a given market during the specified month exclude pending listings. By the way, prices reduced are up 7.3 percentage points year over year in June. So even though we have less active listings, more demand, and higher interest rates, the prices are being reduced, thus increasing affordability. So you can sit there and say the housing bubble is going to pop. It's all going to collapse. You can say all that if you want. I chuckle at that because I'd say, what's the evidence? The evidence is a home affordability. Well, if you're buying a house as for the place to put a shelter over your head to raise a family, I hate to say it, but you're going to buy it when you need the shelter, and you need the shelter now. Just buy the doggone thing, man. Cheese Louise and blue cheese. I'm like, come on. I'm going to wait. Wait for what exactly? For the prices to drop. Okay, when's that going to happen? Well, when the interest rates continue to go up. I mean, or do you need a shelter now? The point being is, if all these negative noise, well, the housing is going to collapse, I chuckle. Right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.